I have shared with you in the past, and I'm sure that I'm going to share with you many times in the future, of how I am continually amazed at how the lectionary reading for any given Sunday speaks so specifically to what is going on in our world. And I can only attribute it to understanding that God is still speaking. Now, we all know the story of Jonah and the whale. It's a story about a reluctant prophet who is given his orders by God to go to the city of Nineveh and warn them of their pending destruction unless they repent. Of course, Jonah is not eager to deliver this message from God for reasons that we will learn soon. And he tries to run away from his responsibilities to deliver said message. Jonah then gets swallowed up by a big fish, and after 3 days is spewed out of the fish onto dry land. And again, God says, "Go do what I've told you to do." Jonah begrudgingly goes to the city of Nineveh and delivers God's message. The people of Nineveh repent, and God does not destroy them. For some of us, this is the most that we have ever been told about this story. Many of us understand the lesson to be learned from it is when God says to you to go and do something, you had better very well do it. Otherwise, you will find yourself in a big mess of doo-doo. But that isn't really the focus of this story. The focus is about us and our attitudes toward a loving and forgiving God. It's about our attitudes towards God. For most of us, deep down, we really have a hard time accepting God's love, forgiveness, mercy, and inclusion towards those people that we have major issues with. You have to be honest with yourself. Deep down, most of us have major issues with how loving and forgiving God is towards those people that we don't think need to be forgiven. Are not each of us guilty of trying to put restriction on God? How often do we argue with God saying something like, "Yes, God, I know you say this person over there is worthy of your love, but but don't you see how mean they are? Don't you see all of the ugliness in that person?" Well, I just don't care, God, if you love that person or not. I'm not going to accept them as my equal, as my brother and sister. I know that I actively struggle with being like Jonah over most of my life. I am going to share with you a video clip that gives a wonderful overview on the book of Jonah as presented by a group called the Bible Project. And this is going to be very informative, I think, for many of us. And I love the succinctness that this short video gives. And I think children will also enjoy it because of the drawings that happen in the video. So let us turn our attention to the story of Jonah.